TV and magazines are forcing their way down my retina, penetrating my ears, shrieking at me that I should work out more, eat better, smoke less, drink less, which would rip a knife through my romantic life. Announcing an end to random chats over stamped fag ends outside pubs. Getting lost, staring into ever-widening pupils, holding hands with unsteady grips, and giggling with mouthfuls of dripping, damp falafel. Because I refuse for my sex to be tastefully shot under the pale blue moonlight with strings on the soundtrack in slow-mo. Because I want my hard-ons to be red, pure and pumping raw, and not muscle-straining attempts to impress as we both drunkenly undress. Jumpers, then t-shirts, then pursed lips, touch torsos, never mind the flab, that's how real people are built. And then socks are pulled off ungracefully, because that's the only way socks can be pulled off. Fiddling awkwardly with zigs and clanking buckles, the jeans crumple to the floor, make sure you've shut the door, then the pants fly off, all smiles and giggles, the bed creaks like a gorgeously untuned fiddle from the crashing and the tumbling. And it's fumbling as we clumsily burn towards a climax, racked with awkwardness, soaked with poorly ad-lib pornographic whispers, but that's the way it's supposed to be. And if it doesn't match the forced ideal we see, we're supposed to roll off frustrated and pissed. But let me tell you that perfect sex doesn't exist, which is good news. Because I'd much rather have the human elements. Of all the nerves and shaking excitements. Of all the pumping skin and humming brains. Of all the sweat and all the unidentifiable stains, all the bumping knees and all the apologies. There is no sex and relationship 101 to follow. No real criteria and therefore no need to feel inferior. And the butterflies swarming at the pit of your gut, they're a great thing because they show you care. There is no 10-point plan, no relationship career ladder where you go from fuck buddy to seeing each other to going out. Those labels are fables. I've seen too many couples subscribe to these ideas of a perfect life, gluing myths and preconceptions to terms like husband and wife, and they only ever become unstuck in a mess of blaming confusion. Because the only person who can define your love, your sex, and your relationships is you, and those involved with you. Be scared, and enjoy every minute of it. Because it's all so much better when you stumble through it blindly. Cheers, thank you. Right, no time for applause. I've got to go on, I've got to go on. Stop it. Oh, you did. This microphone's a bit annoying. Can you hear me if I just yell? Yeah. Yeah, fucking acoustics got unplugged. Yeah, fuck yeah. Right, I'm waiting on a true story, and it goes like this. I was walking through the supermarket, bored. I swung my trolley into a different aisle in the hope of finding something of interest, and then my eyes immediately fixed on one item. Pre-sliced carrots. I turned around and there was pre-sliced stuff everywhere. Pre-sliced potatoes, parsnips, red pepper, orange pepper, green pepper, yellow pepper, broccoli. I thought to myself, what the hell is going on? Do I really not have enough time to slice my own vegetables? Everything seemed fine in my life when it came to vegetable slicing, but it occurred to me at that moment I've been living the life of a pathetic, shallow freak. And when I really thought on it, I realised that slicing vegetables is what had been holding me back in life. Without vegetable slicing taking up my precious time, I could have learned how to hang glide, finished my novel, or finally got round to having sex. This jogged my memory and made me think of all the times I've been slaving over slicing a vegetable, sweat dripping off my brow, knuckles white with tension, screaming to myself how ever since the day I was born, my whole existence has been slice, 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 fucking slice! Oh my God, when will this drudgery end? Why must I be the slave to the natural shape of a vegetable? Why must the sands of time fall between my pre-sliced vegetables my arms could carry, paid for them, and ran home. And now my cooking is much faster. And I have plenty of time to be miserable and dissatisfied in other areas of my life.